Inec schedules governorship elections in Ekiti and Osun for June 20 and August 8, 2026. Appeal Court reverses judgment voiding composition of Kano State Independent Electoral Commission and local government election. Troops kill 6 insurgents in a fierce overnight encounter in Binta area of Borno State. On the foreign scene, Donald Trump accuses China of violating 2-week-old truce on tariffs. Good evening, this is News at 7 on Western Spring Television. My name is Olufemi Alagbe. The Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec, has scheduled the governorship elections in Ekiti and Osun for June 20 and August 8, 2026. Inec Chairman Mahmood Yakubu announced the dates on Friday during the swearing-in ceremony of 6 newly appointed resident electoral commissioners. Yakubu said, in line with the requirements of the law, the commission is obliged to publish the notices for major elections not later than 360 days before the date fixed for the election. He said, in compliance with the law, the commission has approved the timetable and schedule of activities for the Ekiti and Osun state governorship elections. Yakubu also said the commission is aware of the concerns expressed by many Nigerians about the pending by-elections and the resumption of continuous voter registration nationwide. The Court of Appeal Abuja has reversed the judgment by a federal high court in Kano voiding the composition of the Kano State Independent Electoral Commission and the local government election the commission conducted on October 26, 2024. In 3 unanimous judgments, a 3-member panel presided over by Justice Biobele Georgeville held that the lower court lacked the jurisdiction to entertain cases bordering on the composition of states' electoral bodies and the qualification of members of such bodies. The Court of Appeal allowed the 3 appeals filed by the Kano State Attorney General, the Kano State House of Assembly, and ASIEC, striking out the suits filed before the Federal High Court for want of jurisdiction, noting that the proper court with the required jurisdiction is the High Court of Kano State. The Court of Appeal also reversed another judgment delivered by the same Federal High Court in Kano, rejecting the list of candidates submitted by ASIEC by the Musa Congressive faction of the New Nigerian People's Party (NNPP) for the last local government election in Kano State. It added that issues of party leadership and candidates' nomination were not justifiable. Meanwhile, the Kano State government has welcomed the Court of Appeal's verdict that validated the conduct of local government elections in the state, describing the ruling as a major boost to democratic governance and constitutional order. In a statement released on Friday and signed by the State Commissioner for Information and Internal Affairs, Ibrahim Waya, the government said it was elated by the appellant court's verdict, which nullified an earlier ruling by the Federal High Court in Kano that sought to halt the polls. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja and presided over by Justice Oyewumi ruled that the lower court lacked jurisdiction to entertain the suit filed by the All Progressives Congress (APC) and a faction of the New Nigerian People's Party (NNPP), which had challenged the credibility of the elections and accused the chairman of the Kano State Independent Electoral Commission, Sani Malufashi, of bias, and appellant court upheld the appeal filed by the state government, thereby validating the election and declaring them legally binding. Reacting to the judgment, the state's governor, Abba Kabir Yusuf, hailed the decision as a triumph for democracy, justice, and the rule of law. In Edo State's Governor Monday Okpelo has offered an unconditional political amnesty to the candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in the 2024 governorship election in the state, Swe Igadolu. The governor, in a statement by his spokesman Fred Itwa, noted that his offer of political amnesty to Ighodalo, who was allegedly being sidelined by his political benefactors in a show of true sportsmanship. Okpebholo described Ighodalo's situation as discomforting since he was defeated during the election. He highlighted the need for unity and reconciliation beyond political divides, assuring Ighodalo that any past political differences will be set aside if they choose to accept the unconditional political amnesty. The gesture, according to the statement, is a deliberate move to foster peace and heal the divisions that emerged during the last governorship election in Edo State. In another development, the All Progressives Congress (APC) has congratulated the governor of Edo State, Monday Okpebholo, and his deputy, Dennis Idahosa, on their victory at the Court of Appeal. This was contained in a statement released by the party's National Publicity Secretary, Felix Morka. Morka attributed the judgment to independence and professionalism in the judiciary. The party called on the People Democratic Party's candidate, Osun and Ekiti, to accept the judgment and unite Okpebholo in developing the state. It will be recalled that on Thursday, the Court of Appeal Abuja Division upheld Okpebholo's election as the winner of the Edo State's September 21, 2024 governorship election. The three-member panel of the appeal court in a unanimous decision dismissed Ighodalo's appeal, describing it as devoid of merit. To security, the Nigerian Immigration Service Lagos State Command has handed over notorious crime suspect Obi Levi Obeze to the Lagos State Police Command for further investigation. The development was confirmed by the Lagos Police Public Relations Officer, CSP Benjamin Hundain, in a statement released on Friday via X. Obeze, also known as Levi Obu Oyenka, was arrested on Wednesday by operatives of the Nigerian Immigration Service at the Igbaji checkpoint along Badagry Semia Road while attempting to flee the country on a motorcycle. A statement issued by the Service Public Relations Officer of the Nigeria Immigration Service, ACI Akilabi, on Thursday said his arrest followed credible intelligence linking him to the alleged abduction, kidnapping, and attempted ritual killing of a 13-year-old girl in Isiegu community, Enugu State. Obi is a native doctor from Umuajo village in Enugu, was reportedly part of the group of 3 men who abducted the victim on May 27, 2025, while she was walking with her father to the farm. The girl also later rescued from a shrine allegedly linked to Obieze. The Defense Headquarters has criticized a recent report of Amnesty International describing it as lacking contextual depth and failing to acknowledge the significant achievements of the Nigerian armed forces in combating insecurity across the country. Amnesty International had, in a report on Wednesday, raised the alarm over what it described as the Nigerian government's failure to protect citizens from relentless attacks by armed groups and bandits, adding that at least 1,217 people have been killed and 672 villages sacked in the past 2 years, noting that Benue, the DHQ, in a brutal on Friday by Director of Defense Media Operations, General Marcus Kinge, expressed concern over what it called sweeping generalizations and unverified statistics in Amnesty's reports. Kinge said while it respects the role of civil society in promoting accountability, the report disregards the asymmetric nature of the threats facing the country and the complex socio-political context within which the armed forces operate. Troops of Operation Adinkai have killed 16 insurgents in a fierce overnight encounter in the Binta area of Borno State. The Nigerian Army, in a statement on Friday, described the operation as decisive and coordinated. It said the attack started around 1:09 a.m. on Friday when the insurgents assaulted troops of the 26th Task Force Brigade, noting that a land and air assault obliterated the terrorists. Similarly, the Nigerian Air Force said its air components of Operation Hiding K recorded a major operational success against Boko Haram terrorists. In a decisive and coordinated operation, gallant troops of Operation Hiding K launched a simultaneous land and air assault on terrorist positions in Binta, Borno State. In the early hours of Friday, NAV spokesman Air Commodore Aime Ajodame said scores of insurgents were killed, although he did not give a specific figure. Staying with security matters, Governor Hafiz Agbu of Taraba State has opened up on the circumstances surrounding the killing of his sister, Asti Hafiz, reportedly shot by kidnappers along Wukari Chikai Road last year. Hafiz revealed that a police escort attached to his mother's escort shot and killed his sister while traveling from Jalingo to Abuja along the Wukari Chikai Road in 2024. He stated this while interacting with journalists in Jalingo, the Taraba state capital, saying investigation reveals that a police escort shot Asti at a close range. Further disclosed that pellets of gun were found in the victim's body during operation before she subsequently succumbed to death. Men in Taraba State have believed that the vehicle conveying Asti and the governor's mother was attacked by bandits who wanted to kidnap the governor's family members. Hafiz, while observing a minute's silence for Asti and the over 50 people who were recently killed in Karim Lamido local government area of the state during an attack, called on the people to embrace peace and love one another. Police operatives have rescued 23 victims in Niger and Enugu states in its efforts to tackle crimes in parts of the country. Force spokesman Muyiwa Adejobi disclosed this in a statement on Friday. Adejobi said police operatives swung into action when kidnappers launched an attack on Yaindogo and Dangunu village in Sarkimpawa, Yangwa Mungwa local government area of Niger State, abducting one Usman Dana and 4 others. He noted that during the process, 5 victims were kidnapped, including one Usman Dana and 4 others. According to Adejobi, police operatives attached to the Enugu State Command carried out a coordinated operation in Uvuru Akwata Forest in Uzo Wani local government area following the abduction of commuters along Alo Umulukwa Road. The FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has described the current state of public transport system in the nation's capital as a national embarrassment. The minister made this comment after inspecting modern bus terminals slated for commissioning to mark President Bola Tinubu's second year in office. The minister vowed to come up with reforms that will end the chaos that defines Abuja's current transport landscape. The minister promised a modern, secure, and efficient transport system that offers a glimpse into what a functional capital city can become, one where movement is safe, predictable, and dignified. The minister commended the local contractors handling the project and called for improvement in the quality of their deliveries. You're watching news at 7 on Western Spring Television. Still to come. Business, education, and government activities shut down in Owerri, Imo State's capital, as residents stayed indoors in compliance with sit-at-home directives. We'll bring you more on this when we return.
Jeremiah Oyeni Obafemi on March 6, 1909. Obafemi Awolowo was a prime architect of Nigeria's independence and most consummate advocate of free education and social welfare in Africa's most populous nation. Erudite politician, thinker, and philosopher, Awo was fondly addressed by associates and political colleagues, brought his unique attributes to bear on governance in the defunct Western region. He administered as leader of government business and the premier between 1955 and 1958. Obafemi Awolowo's premiership witnessed pioneering in multi-sectoral policy initiatives and execution. The Western region under his administration paraded several enviable records. First television station in Africa, first real estate in Nigeria, first high-rise building in Nigeria, first modern sports stadium in Nigeria, first agricultural settlement in Nigeria, first modern civil service secretariat in Nigeria, and first industrial estate in Nigeria. His face is on 100 naira denomination as a mark of honor for his distinguished services to his country. Western Spring Television identifies Obafemi Awolowo as a major character in history.
Our comedy is winning fans globally, but we are losing our wildlife to illegal bushmeat, and this is not funny at all. If we continue this way, we will risk losing all our animals and leaving nothing behind for the generations to come. Tell your family and friends not to buy or sell illegal bushmeat, because protecting nature protects us all.
Badamasi Adegoke Adelabu was a prominent figure in Ibadan politics and Western region before Nigeria's independence. He was a key founder of the National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroons, a political party that held aloft the torch of liberty for the two West African countries. He carved a niche for himself as a wordsmith and a creative speaker. The nickname Kwenkele was a natively corrupted version of peculiar mess. His bombastic English language style